Have you ever thought about moving to Canada? A place where the promise of a better tomorrow isn't just a dream, but a reality. Imagine the allure of vast landscapes, the thrill of new opportunities, and the peace that comes with a high quality of life. This is the essence of immigration, the chance to build a new life in a land that welcomes you with open arms and endless possibilities. If you're considering making the Maple Leaf your new home, then you're in the right place. There are a few different routes to becoming a permanent resident in Canada. Let's take a moment to explore 3 key pathways to acquiring that much-desired status. We have economic immigration, family sponsorship, and the refugee pathway. Each one is unique, with its own set of rules and regulations. First up, we have economic immigration. This is by far the most common route taken by those seeking to plant their roots in Canadian soil. It's all about what you can bring to the table. Canada is constantly seeking individuals who can contribute to its economic growth. This pathway includes programs like the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Federal Skilled Trades Program, and the Canadian Experience Class. If you have skills and experience in a profession that's in demand in Canada, this could be your ticket to permanent residency. Next, we have the Family Sponsorship Pathway. If you have a close relative who is already a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, they might be able to sponsor your application for permanent residency. This route is an expression of Canada's commitment to keeping families together. It's a heartening reminder that in the Great White North, family matters take center stage. Finally, we have the refugee pathway. Canada has a long-standing tradition of welcoming those fleeing persecution, conflict, or serious human rights abuses. If you're a refugee, you could be eligible for permanent residency under Canada's Refugee and Humanitarian Resettlement Program. It's a beacon of hope for those in desperate circumstances. Each pathway has its own unique flavor, but they all share one common goal: to make Canada your forever home. They represent Canada's commitment to diversity, inclusion, and economic growth. But remember, each pathway comes with its own set of eligibility requirements. So now that we've covered the 3 main routes to becoming a permanent resident, it's time to roll up our sleeves and delve deeper into these eligibility requirements. Because, as they say, the devil is in the details. Let's take a closer look, shall we? Each pathway has its own set of eligibility requirements, so let's delve into that next. So, what does it take to qualify for permanent residency in Canada? That's a question that's probably on your mind, right? Well, let's delve into it. Each pathway to permanent residency has its own unique set of eligibility criteria. However, for the sake of time, our focus today will be on the economic immigration pathway, which is one of the most common ways to obtain permanent residency. First off, age plays a significant role. While there's no strict age limit, the point-based system, known as the Comprehensive Ranking System, awards higher points to applicants between the ages of 20 and 35. But don't be discouraged if you're outside this range. Age is just one piece of the puzzle. Next up, education. Canada values a well-rounded education. The higher your level of education, the better your chances. Whether you're a high school graduate, hold a bachelor's degree, or have a PhD, each level of education adds to your point tally. Now let's talk about language proficiency. Canada has 2 official languages, English and French. Being proficient in either or both can boost your points. You'll need to prove your language skills through approved tests like IELTS for English and TEF for French. Work experience is another crucial factor. Canada favors applicants with at least 1 year of full-time work experience. More years of experience can fetch you more points, especially if your job is in high demand in Canada. Lastly, let's not forget adaptability. This includes factors like having a job offer in Canada, having a relative living in Canada, or your spouse's language level and education. These can all contribute to your overall score. Remember, the point-based system is designed to assess if you'll be able to contribute positively to Canada's economy and society. Each factor we've discussed is weighted and added together to form your total score. Meeting the eligibility criteria is just the first step. Next comes the application process. But don't worry, we'll guide you through that in the next segment. So stay tuned. Applying for permanent residency can seem daunting, but it's really just a structured process. So let's break it down into manageable steps. First things first, gather your documents. These typically include proof of identity, educational records, language test scores, and work experience documents, among others. But remember, each immigration program has its own specific documentation requirements, so it's crucial to check what you need for your chosen pathway. Once you have all your documents ready, it's time to submit your application. This is usually done online, and it's important to be thorough and truthful in your responses. Any discrepancies can lead to delays or even rejection of your application, so take your time and double-check everything. After your application has been submitted, you'll find yourself in a period of waiting. This is when immigration officials review your application and determine your eligibility for an invitation to apply for permanent residency. The waiting period varies, but it can range from a few weeks to several months. If everything goes well, you'll receive an invitation to apply. This is not a guarantee of permanent residency, but it's a significant step in the right direction. You'll need to respond to this invitation by submitting a complete application for permanent residency. Now let's talk about costs. Application fees can vary depending on the immigration program, but you should be prepared for some expense. In addition to the application fee, you may need to budget for language tests, document translations, and medical examinations. Processing times, on the other hand, can range from a few months to over a year. It largely depends on the immigration program and the current processing times. It's essential to be patient and remain positive during this time. With your application submitted, it's time to wait. But while you do, there's plenty to learn about your potential new home. After all, becoming a permanent resident is not just about the paperwork. It's about starting a new chapter in your life. So why not use this time to learn more about the culture, history, and lifestyle of your future home, Canada? While you wait for your application to process, why not learn more about what life in Canada is like? Beginning with the rich tapestry of cultures that make up Canadian society, it's impossible not to marvel at the diversity. From the Francophone communities in Quebec to the vibrant Punjabi festivals in British Columbia, Canada is a melting pot of traditions, languages, and cuisines. This multiculturalism is a testament to the country's welcoming spirit and its commitment to inclusivity. Moving on to lifestyle, Canada offers a balance of urban sophistication and outdoor adventure. The city's buzz with music festivals, art exhibitions, and culinary delights, while the countryside presents a playground for hiking, skiing, and canoeing. And let's not forget the breathtaking landscapes, from the Rocky Mountains of Alberta to the rugged coastlines of Nova Scotia. When it comes to employment, Canada has a robust job market with opportunities spanning across industries. Whether you're a tech enthusiast eyeing the digital hubs of Toronto or a healthcare professional drawn to the world-class hospitals of Vancouver, Canada's economy is as diverse as its population. Next up is Canada's healthcare system. Known for its public healthcare, Canada ensures that all residents have access to medical services. This means you can expect quality healthcare without worrying about the costs. It's this kind of care for its residents that makes Canada one of the world's most livable countries. Education in Canada is also top-notch. With some of the world's best universities and a strong emphasis on research and development, Canada is a great place for learning and innovation. Moreover, the education system is inclusive, ensuring that every child has access to quality education regardless of their background. And finally, let's touch on the great outdoors. Canada is a country of natural wonders with over 40 national parks and countless outdoor activities. Whether you're an adrenaline junkie or a nature lover, Canada has something for everyone. Canada has so much to offer, and we hope you're looking forward to experiencing it all. So, are you ready to start your journey to becoming a Canadian permanent resident? We've covered a lot of ground today, discussing the different pathways to acquiring Canadian permanent residency. We've explored the various eligibility criteria that must be met and delved into the application process, highlighting the required documentation and processing times. Finally, we took a peek at the vibrant life awaiting you in Canada, a country known for its rich cultural diversity, stunning landscapes, and welcoming communities. Now, it's up to you. The journey to becoming a permanent resident in Canada is not an easy one. It's a path that requires commitment, patience, and a lot of hard work. But remember, each step you take brings you closer to a new life filled with opportunities. Take the time to research more about the pathways we've discussed today. Gather your documents, check your eligibility, and start preparing for your journey. Don't rush it, take it one step at a time, and before you know it, you'll be well on your way to becoming a Canadian permanent resident. Remember, this is just the beginning. There's a whole world of possibilities waiting for you in Canada. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Migrate Mix channel for more helpful guides and tips.